New tonight, it's that time of year. Frost is forming overnight, and your plants need protection. Doppler 10 meteorologist Ross Caruso shows us how to keep all of your green friends safe.
On typical fall nights when frost occurs, air temperature sensors could read 36 degrees above ground, but closer near the surface, temperatures could actually be closer to freezing. And in case you have some outdoor plants that can't be brought inside, you'll want to make sure that you're protecting them properly when frost forms.
Any moisture in the air, moisture in the plants, it crystallizes, it forms ice crystals.
That's what happens on those chilly nights when temperatures get close to freezing.
When the dew comes up, that's moisture, so the plants, they freeze, and once that temperature starts to change again, so once it starts to warm up a little bit, those cells burst.
Meaning your plants die. On the day before an expected frost, ODA Plant Health Division Specialist Colette Gabriel says to cover your outdoor plants while the sun is still out.
That allows some heat to be retained, because if you put it on at nighttime, it's already lost a considerable amount of heat.
Cloth, breathable materials are ideal, unlike plastic.
Condensation starts building up, and so that plastic keeps it all contained. And so once it gets cold, that all freezes, and so it really doesn't help the plant. It actually makes it worse.
But what happens if you forget to cover them up?
If you get out there before the sun shows up, before it starts getting warm, and you water all your plants, like just drench them, that kind of helps thaw them out slower than it would if the sun hit them, and that allows those cells to not burst.
And if you don't have any cloth materials to cover your plants, no worries. You can use Mother Nature's natural insulator, all those fall leaves that you've been gathering up to help protect your plants. And speaking of frost, it looks like we could end up seeing several frost advisories as we head into the upcoming weekend. For more on that, we'll send things over to Chief Meteorologist Ashley Barrissey.
Well, that's right, Ross, but some great tips for folks trying to prolong the season with their plants, especially the garden. So let's talk about those forecasted lows that could result in some frost advisories. I want to preface that we have not had any advisories issued yet by the National Weather Service, but I'm sure we will see at least one heading into the weekend. What I want to point out, Friday morning, we wake up to lows around 40. That's in the city. Outlying areas will likely be cooler in the 30s. That could potentially be the first advisory that we see, so maybe as early as tomorrow night going into Friday morning. I think it is a solid that we will see a frost advisory issued come Saturday morning. We're looking at 35 for the low in the city and probably right around the freezing mark, if not cooler, in some of the outlying areas. And then we teeter right around 40 throughout the next several days after that for morning lows. So we're going to see some of those advisories come out of the National Weather Service before you know it. Let's talk about climate data as far as frost in Columbus. 32 degrees. The earliest we've ever hit 32 for the season here in Columbus is September 21st. So we're well beyond that date, and it's been as late as November 27th. So we're kind of smack dab in the middle. It could be any day that we would be recording a 32-degree temperature for an overnight low. I want to show some of the beautiful colors around town. Melissa's sending this one in, and I tell you what, I mean, it is just a nice time to be on the roads and take in the colors that are all around the freeways and the roads. And you can see this one sent in by Molly, the golden color that's off of the water there. Just picturesque. So thank you so much. Let's break down our fall foliage report as we are right at peak just north of Delaware County, all the way up towards Toledo and the state line, and near peak south of Delaware County. And so breaking down the forecast for you, we're hitting that peak now where I showed you. We'll be past peak in the next few days, but October 26th will likely be the peak south of I-70. I think October 19th closer to the I-70 corridor. So 64 degrees in Bucyrus right now, 71 in Columbus, 68 down in Piketon. Very comfortable conditions to get out for a walk. We'll still be around 60 at 11 o'clock, so we stay above average tonight. 55 for the overnight low. Satellite and radar remains quiet for now, but tomorrow that changes. Cold front starts to bring some rain showers in the area by the afternoon, so highs will only top out in the mid-60s before falling throughout the second half of the day. Clouds move in the morning, but there's the rain crossing I-71 probably around 1-2 o'clock and continuously pushing eastward. So this will mainly be an afternoon event, and that does bring in a big chill heading into the weekend. So let's talk about it. 40 degrees come Friday morning, 56 for the afternoon high, and then only 60 on Saturday. Still staying rather dry heading into Sunday with lows in the low 60s, but then another rainmaker Monday that'll probably dip those highs back in the 50s to start the next work week.